Morning, guys. New week, new opportunities, I guess. Let's start here and check what we have here in the economic calendar. It's going to be a busy week. From today, we don't have anything. Tomorrow, on a Tuesday, we have past placement PMI and CPI Canadian dollar here. I do trade Canadian dollar a lot, especially USD CAD. Pound, climate change. Okay, will be what we have said on Wednesday. We have nothing on residential employment change, and as a ECB President Lagarde speaks here. Okay, and pound CPI, we do trade pound a lot. However, I don't like GBP/USD. And on Thursday, European monetary policy. That will be on Tuesday. Obviously, we do trade a lot at this specific time here. And we also have unemployment claims of dollar retail sales as well. And then this will be a lot on Thursday here. And on Friday, we also have FMC member one speak, and we have building permits and treasury currency reports. So we have a lot. It's going to be a good week, I believe. It's going to be a good week, especially this retail sales on Thursday here. We have retail sales and unemployment claims on Thursday, because by this time, I know I will be trading indices, so I do take a look at this. Let's look at GXY this week. This is going to be the easiest one of them all, guys, to be honest with you. In this case, I'm on a weekly chart here. The previous NFP week was heavily bullish like that, and last week was bullish as well, so which means we are bullish here this week. However, one thing that I would really like to see, because we have this low, high, lower, low, and then boom to the outside, high, high, right? Which means I wouldn't be surprised if we can see price turning back down into this weekly fair value gap here. I'm not sure if that it can be this week or the following week, but in this case, I know price turning back into this fair value gap. Maybe take into this order block or breaker as well. Let me just put like this. Seeing a move like this down to these levels will be ideal before. Again here, because we also have high impact news here. If we have maybe those high impact news can push price down back into this fair value gap, then to the upside is possible. So one thing to aim for, our key main draw liquidity to the upside in this case here, we should pay attention to this. The failure swing here. Let me just mark all of these failure swings here. The failure swings as well here, which means we simply have what? A low resistant liquidity run above this high. So we're anticipating price to push higher here to these levels with an energetic move. So bullishness there, looking for bullishness, possibly to that up to this level is going to be 107.39. And again, guys, even though I'm heavily bullish like this, should I say something else, I can easily switch my bias in time, because I do not marry my bias. I simply check it at day as it is and not based on what the market is giving me, right? Weekly chart, let's go down to daily. Okay, on a daily chart, what you see here, we have something interesting that I really like what happened on this thing here, on this daily. Actually, let's remove this, or maybe not. We had this fair value gap right here. In this case, we had this. This was key for me here. We had this fair value gap here. The price checked into this fair value gap here, which was 8 Tuesday, and also not just checking into the fair value gap, but also broke below the low of this low here, checking on liquidity before it pushed to the upside. So are we going to see some high prices? But this candles here, this was actually Thursday, but at the end, it was actually showing some sort of some reversals here. So which means today or tomorrow, in this case, I'm bullish, right? So if I'm bullish, we anticipate what the low of the week to be formed maybe on on Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So which means there's a possibility of maybe today and tomorrow we'll see some lower prices, maybe to this daily fair value gap, or maybe eventually down to this weekly fair value gap. I don't know about this one, but which means if I'm going to get a trade to go short in this week, I'll be aiming for this daily fair value gap here. So, however, on long term, I am bullish, but this week it's possible to see a retracement down to this level, especially with these candles that we're getting over here. Right, because on Thursday here we talk about this high, a close up a bit, and this one right here was Friday was simply an inside day. So if I have an inside day, I don't really do much on the next day, which means today I have really nothing. Which means here, but today we pressed up our Friday's high, but did it close up a bit? No, not really. I want to see how today closes. So which means when trading the dollar, I'll be very careful about the closing price of this candy here. So we'll see how this thing goes. If it closes below this level right here, which means on Tuesday will be bearish, I'm expecting lower prices to grab liquidity before it can rally, and that low push it downside will possibly be that low of the week. That will be my idea on GXY. So now you know what edges we have on euro here, right? So my edges in this case, we're taking by side liquidity. However, we're still trading within this range high, low, up into premium over there, which means we've taken out this by side liquidity here, and also this highs has been checking out here, which means we have high, low, higher high over there. Then it displays lower displacement to the downside here, It broke below this low here. It broke below this low here, so which means this was market start shift to downside, and now simply expecting price to return back up into this fair value gap here before we can aim for lower price. Again, on euro here, I think I talked about this over and over again that okay, in this case I'm looking for price to push back down into this volume balance, and with the fact that we also have this, so we have liquidity here and as well as the volume balance or liquidity void. So I'm expecting price to push down to this level here, check out some sort of liquidity. Sorry, to give us a retracement first, maybe to this fair value gap before it pushes lower. In this case, that's going to be the weekly chart. Let's look at a daily chart here. Man, this is already my chart here. I normally don't feel it okay, yeah, because this simply means that I'm only squeezed on this chart. In this case, what we see here, however, Friday is still a problem for me again here, looking at GXY, because we have this fair value gap here, and okay, and here we have a further swing here as well, which means there's a possibility of bullishness here. We can push to the upside in this case to grab liquidity to this fair value gap here, or maybe from there push lower. And however, today I don't think I'll be doing anything. I want to see how this, because Friday, right, was an inside day, was inside Thursday here. So I want to see how today what happens, because so far we've checked out Friday's low, but are we going to close above it here? I want to see that how today happens, so before I can consider doing anything. However, based on my scalping strategy or my trading strategy, which means it allows me to take a trade at any given market condition, that I'm still going to look at it. But for now, let's focus on the overall outlook of the market this week. All in all, bias here for this week, I am bearish and anticipating a continuation to the downside, maybe until we reach this the volume balance over here. But for now, we are bearish, anticipating lower prices. Same thing on pound, bearishness. However, on pound, we have this here. Let's remove this here. Looking at this thing, we're taking out this price side liquidity here, and I'm still trading within this range high over there, down to slow. We obviously get a trade back into premium, and obviously, one thing you can tell here that the momentum upside is a bit slow compared to this one, right? So this is bearish, all in all. One thing I don't like here on GBPUSD is that GBPUSD has been the strongest the past few weeks, right? Oh, but the past 2 weeks has been bearish since the end of the week, right? So what I don't like here is that we compared to euro, and in this case we have this low here of which we didn't break below this low here. We didn't break below it, which means we're still trading within this piece here. By set balance and efficiency. Again, guys, I have a very low win rate on GBPUSD, so that's why I hardly take and trade here on GBPUSD. Okay. So in this case, we're taking into this fair value gap, push high, and now coming back up into this fair value gap here. And one thing I hate so much, let me not say I hate, we have the prospect encroachment of this fair value gap here. Since again, we're also failing to close below it, which means there's a very good chance that this thing here it is still bullish. However, here's rejection this level. So I want to see if we're going to get anything, or maybe if we are indeed in bearish, I want to see price closing at least below the prospect encroachment of this fair value gap, so we get lower price from there. But until then, I'm not interested in going short GBPUSD here. However, let's put in some proper lipsticks. We have buy side liquidity here, and we can also use in front side. This one, it looks like displacement yet, but we don't have anything yet. We also had this piece here, buy side balances and efficiency, of which now use it as inversion fair value gap. Oh, it's a balanced price range, which means there's a good chance the price can check into this level and then it could to downside. However, one thing I also don't like here is that if we put it downside, we have this fair value gap here, and again the next one. So which means yes, yeah, we do have a lot of failure swings here, but I don't think until maybe we close below the fair value gap here, I don't think I'll be able to take a trade on this pair. I'll simply be sitting on the sideline and only maybe use it when I'm looking for SMT. But for now, GBPUSD, yes, we are bearish, but I don't have any confirmation. Like I can say, okay, we have this strong valid confirmation here on a weekly chart. And if I don't have a confirmation on a weekly chart, which means there's nothing I can do on a lower chart, on a lower time frame here. However, on a daily, what we see in this case, we also have a fair value gap here at this side. Again, this indicates to me there's a chance that this thing can push higher, right? We have a fair value gap up on this level here. So if price can return back to this level, that would be a good chance for us to go short. Okay, so that would be my GBPUSD. Let's look at Canadian dollar here, heavily bullish here. This is heavily bullish. I think it was on Friday or Thursday. We are bullish here, expecting higher prices. The past 2 weeks has been bullish. So this week simply expecting a continuation to the upside. Let's remove this. In this case, we had this value gap close above it, this value gap closed above it, which means this value gap here, I believe this week we will close above it as well, indicating bullishness. So our drawn liquidity is going to be this high over here, the most obvious one on a weekly chart. That should be 39.46, still a long way up there, right? Let's go down to daily chart. This past few days has been heavily bullish here, really bullish in this case. Again, we're expecting high. I don't know why I have to understand here. Let's remove it. Expecting higher prices. Let me just check this thing, guys. Let's see. I want to check something here. I remember it was a search hub here, but we couldn't get an entry. Or there was this one here. We didn't check it at all. But I believe someone else in the group did check it. It's pretty nice. 3.49. I think I'm not sure who was in the group that took this trade yet. But then this we're simply here for today to look at the weekly outlook. What I'm anticipating from here on is that I am very bullish, right? I have no interest in going short, which means I don't want to trade against this overall trend here. I have interest in going short. So what we should be looking for in this case, in the area of inefficiency, because we're simply seeking for what? We're only aiming for intra-range liquidity to external range liquidity. In this case, we have this level gap. So if we are bullish, I would like to see maybe Monday and Tuesday bearish, maybe check into this level gap before we continue to the upside. That's simple. I don't know if complicate it or do anything like that. As long as we know where is our drawn liquidity, we have this highs over here. And one thing here, last week's high has been taken out, so we seem to be getting something of reversal there. It's possible. So I'll be keeping an eye on this one again. But for today, we don't check any trade here unless we are scalping, because our scalping strategy requires no bias at all. All in all, bias for the week, we are bullish. Drawn liquidity, it is that 39.46 level over there. These things that you have to know. You have to know your bias and maybe your drawn liquidity. Swiss franc, bullish as well, just like on GXY. However, in this case, we have a failure swing here, which means we have SMT with GXY. We know this. We have SMT here. And here's the deal, because on GXY, we've taken up this lows. On used to say check, we didn't do that. This indicated Swiss franc is a little bit stronger the pair to go long in this case, right? So let's look at this thing. Let's remove this of this one. There's always a lot of matches going on. We broke up our size. Let's switch down to the weekly chart here. Because on the weekly chart, we have SMT here with DXY, and then push up our discount, which means here we have a fair value gap, in this case, into the average liquidity. So we want to see what we want to see. We want to see price checking into the fair value gap before it pushes to the upside. So where to the upside? In this case, the next obvious level that will be paying attention is going to be last week's highs first, and as well as this high. We don't have to aim for anything like that. But for now, we're simply aiming for this one, right? Where's my line? This high here is the one that I'll be aiming for as my buy side liquidity. That will be 87.48, right? So yeah, this will be the levels we look for, and let's see how price plays out. So which means we're gonna go long. We want to buy this thing to those levels. So that will be GBPC HF here. Let's look at Oz and Kiwi bearish in this case. This 2-1 bearish for this week. However, Oz I don't like only check out this buy side liquidity. In this case, this range high down to slow. Buy side liquidity was taken out here. One thing that I want to see here on this weekly chart, I want to see price closing below this fair value gap here. I want to see price closing below the value gap. So far, we only closed below the cost encroachment of the value gap, right? But I want to see price closing below it and then use it as an inversion fair value gap, because from there we'll be sure that we are going short, or that will serve as a continuation looking for lower prices. So if we do get it, what our drawn liquidity is going to be this year. But why I am so sure on this one that we are bearish, because we are bullish on DXY, and also we are bearish. Just come to Kiwi here. Kiwi has the perfect setup again, just like two range high, low, back into premium, which is buy side liquidity here. And then we displace low, displacement, huge displacement to downside, right? With what market structure shift here against on weekly chart. Where's the error of inefficiency? We have a fair value gap here. We have a breakup block here, order block here, 3 pillars checked. So what I'm expecting, simply want to see price turn back into this fair value gap. Again, what do we have this fair value gap? It's not a price range here. And then order block and a breaker here. So 3 pillars check as always. I always want to see 3 pillars for me. So a return back into the fair value gap will be key, anticipating what lower prices were to. In this case, we have this low here, or so I mean this. I'll be paying attention back into this week. How price return back into this week will be ideal, will be key for me. So, but for now, guys, that will be NZD USD. Gold, Gold is bullish. I have no interest in going short. And this way, for some, may get it confusing, right? Because I am bullish on the dollar. How come am I also bullish on gold? But gold, guys, look at this thing here. I think from Monday, October 2022, this thing has been heavily bullish, right? So I have no interest in going short. I only want to buy signals. So the most obvious things in this case, let's look at this thing this way. Internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, right? Where's internal? Gonna be this level gap. Where's external? At this high, simple. We are done with the bias. So which means we are bullish and expecting price to push up into this highs of here. That will be our bias for the week on the weekly chart. So go to daily chart here. Let's switch to daily chart. Or on daily chart here, what do we have? We have this levels with a low, high, lower, low, and seeking for high highs over there. So which means we can aim for this will be our sell side liquidity with left liquidity into that area of inefficiency here. We also check the same level in here on the daily chart, which means we had the same level again. We check into it, then pushing to the upside to that was Thursday, Friday, and today to the upside value to this highest fella swings here. So which means we have a very clean draw on liquidity here. So how can you take advantage of this one? You have to go down to lower time frames, but just know that our price for the week is gonna be this week here. Or we are aiming for an all-time high, which means we want to see price pushing up to 26.85. That will be the highest high over there on gold. Let's look at silver. On a weekly chart, silver is a bit lagging, we know that. And again, here we are bullish. And again, two things that we should have here. Oh, we don't have that fair value gap that we have on gold here. We don't have it. Let me just put them here. Oh yes, yeah, we don't. We only have a fair value gap that we in relation to it. And yes, we have no SMT in this case, which means this most likely gonna be a breakaway gap here on a weekly chart. So we're going to be taking this. One thing what I do in this Friday here, we check out lows and last week we only check out below this lows here and seeking for higher prices for now. I'm gonna go down to daily chart here. What are we? We are bullish. Whereas our drawn on liquidity, it's gonna be this high here for this week. I'm expecting price to push back up into this highs here, right? That should be our buy side liquidity, or what we get in this case. We have this low sell side liquidity checking out here into what in this into this order block here. Let's look at the main threshold of this order block. Excuse me. Main threshold simply means 50% of that order block. We check into the main threshold of this order block here. And now reaching up that level, we're seeking for a price again. Sorry, my pressure. We've taken up this key level here. Key level again into order block. We're seeking higher prices now. One more thing that is very confirming here, we have this CBS, sell balance by side efficiency, right? We close above it, and today we open a bit lower into it, which means we're seeking for higher price from it. So we should be looking for buy signals only on this here on silver. So bullishness then. Let's look at crude oil. XTI, USD, or CL for some, depending on what exactly you trade. And here, this is obvious. This one is the most obvious. We have this range low, and if you take a good look at this thing chart here, it's exactly like GXY. I don't know if you can see it. This chart right here, it's exactly like GXY. Let's look at this weekly chart here and look at GXY like this. This is a distant picture, right? So let's do this. Let me just do it this way. Party rockers in the house tonight. Oh, like that. This is the same chart. Look at this thing from here. In this case, going to be this low, that high, that retracement with downside, and from last week, that displacement high is the same thing here. So, which means we are bullish in this case. We have liquidity, sell side liquidity was taken out here, and all out of those lows here as well. Taken out, and then price, we didn't have any, like we put this. And then we broke above this high here, not a key level on the weekly chart, it's key level on the daily chart, right? But one thing that is called, we can all agree on is that we had this CB here, sell balance by side efficiency, of which we closed above it and used as an inversion fair value gap here. We checked into it last week, so which means now we're seeking for higher prices. So where to, if we are looking for higher prices, I want to see higher prices to the upside with this high. But for me in this case, the obvious one is going to be last week's highs. We also have this high here and as well as the high, so which means we have a lot of liquidity resting above this high, so will be key for our bullishness. And I want to see how this thing plays out on this week. I am bullish on the daily chart, so weekly chart. Let's move down to daily chart here. we have this price will certainly be sticking out here, home to the upside, price went back up into this fair value gap here. Internal liquidity now sitting for high prices, which to last side will be our drawn liquidity here. So this will be key for me. In this case, we open with a gap here. Now it's even better here. It's even better. Look at this. We have this low, high, lower, low. In this case, it's order pairing, yes, but on the pairing, the long order just stops resting up below this low. We just placed higher, broke above this high here. This was a 4-hour market structure shift. This was shift on the 4-hour chart, and price back down into this order block here. In this case, in the change of state of delivery here, we charge into weight here. So seeking what higher price with state of delivery here. We have a breaker as well here. We really don't have any error or efficiency here on this. What am I doing here? On this 4-hour chart, unless you want to what you call an implied favorite gap, but I'm not going to watch in this case. So I am bullish here. And obviously we open with a gap here, and I want to see price closing this gap to the upside today. Or it's going to be obviously a bullish move to the upside to close that gap over there. So guys, pairs that I want to share with you today, that's going to be all on this one. And yes, London session today, I'm going to skip it a bit. This London session I will trade it, but I will be trading the new session. I will come back here. We will be trading live. So for now, that's all on this one. I'm going to see you on the next one later on today. Cheers, guys. I'm out for now.